Hi book friends, welcome back to my channel. I am a Jen who reads, and this is my 43rd birthday week reading vlog. So today is Friday. This is the Friday before my birthday. My birthday is actually on Tuesday. And I just have a lot of really exciting stuff happening this week. A lot of really exciting stuff that I'm doing, not necessarily for my birthday. A lot of exciting stuff that I'm reading and I want to talk to you about. One book in particular that I'm starting that I'm super excited about. I just got out of the shower. I'm ready to start the last day of my work week. Tonight I am going to see my stepson. He is in his high school musical of the Addams Family. He is Gomez. So I'm really looking forward to that. One huge thing that's going on in my life right now that is giving me like an enormous amount of anxiety is that I'm teaching my daughter to drive. So that's exciting. Yay. So anyways, come along with me for the entire week of my birthday and let's hang out. Good morning. It is Saturday morning and I meant to update you guys a little bit last night, but we got home pretty late. My stepson had his musical, his spring musical at his high school. He was Gomez Addams in the Addams Family and he blew us away. He was so good. He is so talented. Not only does he do theater, but he's also on the varsity and junior varsity baseball team at his school. And he's only a sophomore. And I think he almost has enough credits to graduate high school. It's insane. So anyways, this is Saturday morning in my pajamas. I'm the only one awake. I just made a bowl of cream of wheat. I used to eat this as a child, so it's like a comfort food, but I didn't pick it up as an adult until recently. Every once in a while, I just get a hankering for some cream of wheat. Today is, like I said, Saturday. It's actually my other stepsons. Their birthdays today. They're twins. They're 20. So my birthday week. Yay! I'm going to be 43 on Tuesday. And I have already received 2 books in the mail from my Amazon wish list, so that's exciting. So this is what I plan on reading this week. I plan on finishing on my Kindle, The Queen of the Tearling. I'm doing this as a book club in my Discord. Love it. I read this years ago. I mean, a long time ago. And now I'm doing a reread of it, and I don't remember anything. So it's like a brand new read for me. And I'm almost finished with it, and I'm really enjoying it so far. The book that I am... Stop it. The dogs have the zoomies. The book that I am reading this month, so this is the book that I'm like spreading out through the whole month. I read a couple of pages or a couple of chapters a day, and that is Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. This is the second book in the Blood and Ash series. I don't know how many books there are, a lot. I think they're beautiful though. I'm this far in. 187 pages. Not a lot's happened so far, but Poppy, I really like her as a character. And right now they're just holed up, like waiting for this storm to pass. And they've literally been in the same setting for the whole book. So I hope they leave soon so we can move on. And then the book I'm starting this week, and hopefully I will finish this week, is one I've been looking forward to for a very long time. Butcher and Blackbird. I've heard a lot of things about this, like 2 pages of trigger warnings or something like that. It's crazy. So yeah, my house is a disaster. My boyfriend and I, we sell books on a shopping app called Whatnot. I'll have the link below if you're interested. No pressure. We do live book shows every Sunday. And this past week we decided to branch off from books, and we sold some Disney things. And we did pretty good. But needless to say, it's been a really crazy week, and my house is a disaster. So I'm probably going to spend a lot of the day cleaning, and that's it. Hopefully I'll get some reading in. So I'll update you later. Happy Sunday morning. Just got out of the shower, so my hair is like soaking wet. Probably should have dried it a little bit more. Getting ready to go to church. I'm really excited because at my church I am the preschool and nursery director. And so I don't always get to go to the church services, and it's actually been quite a while since I've gone, just because of lack of volunteers and stuff like that. And I actually get to go today, so I'm really excited about that. Also, as I mentioned, I think at the beginning of this video, we are teaching my daughter to drive, and we live in one county, and then we go to church and go to school and work in another county. And to get to that other county, we have to drive over a very large bridge. And some compilations and some people like to call this bridge the most terrifying bridge in America. It's the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. Personally, I don't think it's a big deal. And so she's learning to drive. She did drive over it once already on Friday night with my boyfriend. I wasn't in the car because I'm not the best driver's ed teacher. I'm way too anxious, but we leave pretty early in the morning to go to church. So at this time, there's not a lot of traffic. So I told her she could drive. So I'll show you some video of us going over the bridge. When we come home today, my boyfriend and I have a side hustle, which is probably going to morph into his full-time job in the coming months. And we are online booksellers. We do live auction shows twice a week on an app called Whatnot, and I'll have all the information below if you're interested. And so we do have a show every Sunday night. So when I get home from church, I usually take a nap, and then we get ready for that. So I'll show you a little bit of what that entails as well. As far as reading goes, I finished Queen of the Tearling. This is a book that I was reading for a book club in my Discord, and I had read this a long time ago and completely forgot about it. And basically, it is about this girl named Kelsey, and she is an heir to the throne. But until her 19th birthday, she had to be hidden away in the woods. And her uncle was the regent, and he was just filling in. But he was doing a lot of pretty horrible things. And so now it is her 19th birthday. She comes to the throne, and she sees that her kingdom is basically in shambles. And so she has to work through that. There's an enemy across the border. Her mom was not a very good queen. So her mom and her uncle before her, they were making some pretty bad decisions, let's just say. But what I really loved about this book is when you start reading, you have no idea what the time period is. In fact, you assume it is in the past, and because they don't have like cars, or, they ride horses and they live in castles. It's very medieval. But then they start mentioning things that we are familiar with, such as pennies and computers and J.K. Rowling. So it kind of like twists your brain, like, what am I reading? What's actually going on here? And by the end of the book, you kind of have a better grasp of what's going on. And there are 2 other books that I think will explain it a lot more, explain who some of the characters really are. And so I'm really looking forward to reading the other books. There is a 4th book, which came out not too long ago, way after I had read the first 3 books. And it's a prequel, and I haven't read that. So one of the benefits of doing this reread of the trilogy is that now I will be able to remember what happens so that I can go and read the prequel this round. I have not made any progress on Kingdom of Flesh and Fire since my last update. That's probably going to be a book that goes into next month, but maybe not. I have a few days where I'll be able to do quite a bit of reading, and I think that I'm going to focus on that book. I started Butcher and Blackbird last night. I'm only like 5 chapters in, so I don't have a whole lot to say. But one thing that I find that's very strange and unrealistic is that there's a family that has 3 sons, so there's 3 boys, and one of them owns a restaurant and kills serial killers on his, like, you know, off time as his hobby. One of the other brothers does something similar, but it hasn't really explained that yet. But he does something that's pretty dark and has to do with killing. And then the third brother is a doctor. And they all know about the killings that the other brothers are doing, even the doctor. And he seems completely fine with it. So I think that that's a little weird. I haven't read enough yet to make any judgment. So we will continue that today. And then if you watched any of my last videos, you would have seen that I read a Tessa Bailey book last month that I absolutely despised. It was the first Tessa Bailey book I've ever read that I didn't like. And looking back now, I do think that part of the reason I didn't like it was because I listened to it on audio and I didn't like the narrator. And I really think that that's unfair to say that you don't like a book or to negatively critique a book based on your experience with the audio version. So I really looked at the plot and what went on and the circumstances, and I can confidently say that Secretly Yours, even if I would not have listened to it, I would not have liked it. I may have liked it a little better because I really did hate the narrator's voice for the male main character. But there was a lot of circumstances that happened in that book, events that happened, ways that the female main character was treated that was not okay with me. And so I didn't like it. So I was really like, I don't know, should I give Tessa Bailey another try? I do have the audiobook of Wreck the Halls on Libby. It should be here in about 6 weeks. And then last night when I was driving to get pizza, I'm like, I'm going to bite the bullet. And I got on Spotify and I started listening to Fangirl. And I think I'm about 4 chapters in. And so far, nothing's really happened. But so far, I like it a lot better than Secretly Yours. The narration, first of all, is a lot better. So we'll see. There's still hope. There's still hope for Tessa Bailey. There's still hope. So we are getting ready to do our Whatnot show on Saturday night. Nope, Sunday night. So this is where the man behind the camera sits. And then this is where I sit. And there's my camera stand. Now, these are all my personal books, except for that stand is not mine. That's the stand that we sell. All these bottom row books are books that we have for sale. And then all of these are books that we sell on our Whatnot show on Wednesday nights and Sunday nights. So it's almost 7:30, so it's almost time to start the show. Also, these are our book selling dogs, Lilo and Chewy, and anytime anybody buys a book from us, they get a treat. Here's the aftermath of our Sunday show. We had a pretty low show, actually. Usually this whole table is filled with books. These are not books we sold, just these over here. So we did about half what we usually sell, but it was still good. I think we sold about 70 books, so not too bad. Today's my birthday. I'm 43 and my dashboard is lit up like a Christmas tree. So yeah, every light possible is on my dashboard. Not really, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but my check engine light is on and my warning that I have a brake light out is on. So that's fun, because why would today be easy? Good news is I do have an appointment to take it to the garage, so hopefully it is not an expensive fix. After work today, I'm going to pick my daughter up from school. We're going to go to the bookstore, and I wish I could say I'm going to splurge for my birthday at the bookstore, but that's just not feasible right now. But I do have $10 in Barnes & Noble's rewards, so if I find a book that's about $10, I can walk out of there spending about $10. So that's not so bad. So that's the plans. So I will update you on my reading. I will update you on my car situation a little bit later. So I completely forgot to record anything on my birthday, but it was a really good day. I got candy and cookies and donuts and coffee from my students. That was fun. And then I came home and we went to the bookstore and we went to a thrift store, and then came home and made homemade sushi bowls and completely forgot to record any of that. But I have my birthday haul as far as books go. My daughter bought me the 4th book in the Discworld series. This is Mort. One of my online friends visited my Amazon wish list and got the Kiss Quotient for me. So now that has completed the set for this series. So that's exciting. My boyfriend got me God Killer. Actually, when we went to the bookstore, we went to a Books A Million, and their fantasy section wasn't very good. The 2 books that I was looking for, they didn't have. So I got God Killer. This was one that was on my wish list. And he also got me this beauty, Words of Radiance hardback. This is very heavy. And he also ordered one of my books that I had on my wish list that has sprayed edges. It's a pre-order, so I actually won't get that one until January. Not January. I actually won't get that one until July. So that's it. It was a good birthday. As far as reading goes, everything that I'm reading right now is very mid. So I am about 260 pages into A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. My last update, I said that they were still at the keep. They hadn't left. And that's still the case. They're still there. They haven't left. I feel like the plot is not progressing at all. So let's talk about characters instead. There might be some slight spoilers in this. So if you don't want to hear what I have to say about Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, which is the 2nd book in the Blood and Ash series, I'm going to put this little symbol up here, and when this disappears, I am finished talking about it. So Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, Poppy and Castile are supposed to get married, and she is fighting it tooth and nail.
And at this point, they have finally come to an agreement. She sort of sees how this marriage between them will benefit her because he's going to help her find her brother, which she believes became an ascended. And then she is going to help him find his brother. So she finally realizes that it is mutually beneficial for them to get married. So in public, they have to act like they're in love. But in private, she will not even tolerate acting like she loves him. But we know that she has feelings for him, even though right now they might just be mostly physical feelings. The thing is, with the first book, I wanted them to be together. I loved the small glances and the small touches and the moments that they had together, and I was completely rooting for them. And then when they finally got together, I was just like really excited about it. I don't believe their relationship in this book. I feel like I'm not excited about it. I don't know. It just feels very blasé, like very blah, their relationship. I don't feel like there's much sexual tension. I don't feel like there's much for me to be rooting for at this point. There is a scene where they are walking and he pulls her into a pantry and basically says, can we just pretend that you like me for a little bit? Can we just pretend and kiss? And she was like, all right, let's just pretend that we're in love and we'll kiss. And then they kissed and that was it. And like, I felt no sparks, no fireworks, no nothing. My favorite development as far as relationships go are between Poppy and Kiernan, which he is a Wolven and he's also bonded to Castile. Their banter is so funny and I like their friendship better than I like Castile and Poppy's relationship. Let's see. The terminology is very confusing. There are so many creatures to keep straight. So the Atlanteans, then there's like the first generation Atlanteans and the second generation Atlanteans, and their blood means different things and their eye color means different things. And then there's, you know, the vampires and the wolves. And then she found a book about some other creatures that they think no longer exist. And it's like the wyvern and the draken, and it's just a lot. And they talk about what would happen if this creature drank this creature's blood, but it wouldn't happen if they drank this creature's blood. And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not using too much brain power to try to remember it all, is what I'm trying to say. So just kind of mid. Like, I'm going to finish the book for sure. I'll probably continue on in the series, but it's just like right now, a very solid 3 stars, very middle of the road, very average. And the other book that I'm reading right now, which is Butcher and Blackbird, I feel the same way about. I am about six or 7 chapters into it, and nothing's really happened. In fact, the female character, Sloane, decides it's been like 6 months since she saw Rowan. I think his name is Rowan. And so she just goes to Boston and shows up at his restaurant and eats lunch. And then when he sees her, she makes this really weird excuse and leaves. And then they don't talk again for like months. And she's really embarrassed and she's crying. And I'm like, that was just a really weird thing for her to do. All of the trigger warnings that are in this book, which is like 2 pages of them, none of them have happened yet. I just find a lot of it very unbelievable. I don't know. It's just weird read for me. I'm not excited to pick it up. I don't really know what all the hype is about, but I guess we'll see because I am going to continue reading it. That's all that I'm reading right now that I can talk about. I did start a new book yesterday, but it's for a video that I want to be a surprise, so I'm not going to talk about that. So that's all I have to say in this update. There is a library sale this week that John and I are going to be going to, so I'm kind of excited about that. The last time that this library had a library sale, we picked up a lot of books for our personal library, and then we also picked up a lot of books for our online business. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I will probably update you again sometime tomorrow. All right. All right, so something I forgot to update you on was my car. I did get it fixed on my birthday. It cost me $140, so not too bad, but still, it sucked that I had to pay $140 to fix it. I was supposed to go to Barnes & Noble's on my birthday because I had some money towards a book. And I ended up not going to Barnes & Noble's. We ended up going to Books A Million instead. And so I have a few hours to kill today. Today's Thursday, by the way. And I'm at Barnes & Noble's. So I'm going to use my $10 reward. Plus I have about $14 in credit card rewards that I can put towards a purchase. So I've got about $25 that I can spend. I'm hoping to get one of two books. Either That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon, or The Book That Wouldn't Burn. I looked for both of those at Books A Million on Tuesday and they didn't have them, so I got some other books instead. Those are the two books that I am hoping to get here today, so we'll see if I'm successful. I got about 3 chapters of this read today, and guess what? They are finally going somewhere. They left the keep. They're going through the woods. Something exciting and dangerous happened in the woods. It was a really good chapter, probably the best chapter of the whole book so far. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that this book is finally picking up. Almost halfway. I'm like page 290. Actually, that's not true. I think I'm on page 310. So finally starting to pick up. Butcher and Blackbird. One of the trigger warnings finally happened. It was the cannibalism / accidental cannibalism. And it wasn't even gross. It wasn't anything extreme. I really think that some of these trigger warnings were put in there just for shock value and not because they were really that disturbing. If you read them, they're not really that bad. At least this first one wasn't. So they just found their second, I guess this is the second year, they just found and killed their second serial killer that they're doing as a competition. Nothing between them romantically has happened yet, though. So it's still, I wouldn't even say it's a slow burn. I mean, it's just two people who have a lot in common. I don't know. We'll see. All right, I'll update you and let you know what I get at the bookstore.
Back in the lab, ain't got no plans. It might get crazy.
Well, that was a success. I got The Book That Wouldn't Burn, and I found The Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. So both books that I wanted, they had. Now I'm gonna go get some dinner at Chick-fil-A and head to my stepson's baseball game, and then go home and sleep, because tomorrow's another work day. Tomorrow is also April 19th, so if you're a Swiftie, you know what that means. See you tomorrow. All right, so this is my last update for this weekly reading vlog, and actually it is Saturday, so this was a day and a week reading vlog. Chewy, what are you doing? Get down. That's weird. It's just been a really busy week. We did 2 extra book shows than we normally do. You can sort of see some of the aftermath. There's some books. There's some books. So needless to say, it's been a pretty busy week. I spent a good chunk of the day yesterday in my car listening to the Tortured Poets Department, and I love it. So The Bolter is my favorite one, by the way, in case you were wondering. Butcher and Blackbird, I'm almost finished with it. I will probably finish it today. I'm going to a baseball game, so I usually get a good amount of reading in at the baseball games. It finally picked up. It finally picked up, and something happened. The Butcher gave the Blackbird something that was actually really, really cool. If you are not sure if you want to read this book because you've heard that there's a bunch of trigger warnings, and you've just heard that it's pretty intense, in my opinion, the smut is pretty smutty, but anything that has to do with the killing is really not that bad. All of the other trigger warnings are very mid. I didn't think that there was anything that was too shocking. But the smut is pretty smutty, at least compared to what I usually read. So anyways, if that is something that has been keeping you from wanting to pick it up, don't let that keep you from picking it up. Like I said, the killing and the cannibalism and whatever other weird trigger warnings are in there really aren't that detailed, and they're really not that bad. So anyways, thank you for joining me on my birthday reading vlog, and I will see you next time. Happy reading.